Thank you guys. I'm excited. It's been an interesting month. I don't know if anyone here's ever done a juice cleanse. Anyone? I feel like it's LA, everyone has, begrudgingly, maybe, done a juice cleanse. They said after 30 days I was really excited because they were like, you're going to feel so much better. But I don't feel better. I feel horrible. I feel like I wasted a lot of money, bought organic like a douche. I don't feel better. I felt a lot better when I was on my diet I was doing before the juice cleanse, which I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this one. It's really big in the Midwest. Basically, what you do is you eat whatever the fuck you want and then wear your husband's t-shirts. It's it's such a good one. But apparently I have to lose weight. I have a commercial agent that's constantly sending me out for roles for girls that are unattractive and big. That's what it says in the description, and she doesn't cut it out when she emails it to me. And I'm like, okay, Nancy, we could work on that. She recently, we don't see eye to eye. I don't think we're doing business well together, you guys. I've only booked one Weight Watchers commercial, and I pretended I was the after, even though I was the before. I was like, it gets better. That's all I did, as I looked in a mirror at my own abs, and you could have this too. But she got mad at me, and we had to part ways recently because she wanted me to go out for a Depends commercial. And her actual words to me were, do you feel comfortable in a diaper in front of strangers? I was like, no, I don't think anybody feels. Never heard anyone say, I can't wait to get off work and just put on a diaper and invite some strangers over to judge me. Like, that's no. Plus, I'm like in my mid-30s. I just don't think I'm like the Depends market ad yet. There should be some transition, maybe like first poise pads. Then shits her pants years old. That's what I was saying. Let me have urinary incontinence first. Equality. So, my career's going really well. That's great. But I get excited this time of year not only because it is the holidays, but because I'm about to celebrate a wedding anniversary with my husband. We're about to celebrate 3 years of marriage, which he's really excited about. I'm really excited. And a lot of comics, once they get married, they change their act. They kind of want to bag on marriage, like, marriage. But I'll be honest with you guys, like, are you two married? No, yeah, just leave me alone, no, bitch. You're like old and you wear diapers. Gross. I'm sorry, I'm shitting my pants right now. It feels so much better. But a lot of comics, they want to bag on marriage, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really see the difference between when I was dating my husband to now being married to him, because I cry just as much. All the fucking time. But only now, like, if you are a crier like me, if you're someone who likes to cry, get married. It makes it so much better. Because now I have someone contractually obligated to watch me bawl my eyes out. Like he signed a piece of paper. That's so stupid. Because marriages are hard to get out of, too, because I looked it up in case he was looking to run. The average divorce, $10,000 to $15,000. I know, we share a bank account, so I know he can't afford it. I literally walk around our apartment like, tears for years, motherfucker. You're bad. It's love. But Amber, who is on the show, she is going to get married, so that's exciting. We can clap and pretend that was one of my jokes. She actually made me think about marriage because she asked me, she's like, now, Joleen, that you've been married a couple years, like, what's been the best thing about it? And I had to think about it, and I think it's that I feel like my husband and I, like, we're a real team now. Like we're a solid unit. Like if we had a baby, we might be able to keep it. Which is exciting. People tense up when I say that, because they always assume it's an abortion joke. It's not, you guys. The baby lives, it just lives with my mom. It's a Midwestern abortion. Where I'm from. That's what we do. After I got married, I feel like this pull all of a sudden to like a shop at Kohl's all the time. I never had this feeling before. I'm just like drawn to every Kohl's, like I must go. It's like The Walking Dead in the Kohl's. Because if you walk in any married person's house, especially where I'm from in the Midwest, there is at least one inspirational sign. And now I just feel like, well, I could get a sign and some Kohl's cash. It's a win-win, you know? It's like, I see these signs and I want to put them up. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like the signs that are like, dance like nobody's watching. Love like you've never been hurt. Get divorced like it's the first time. That would be mine. Or mine, I told my husband, would be like, happy wife, don't get knifed. Yeah, sometimes he's like, well, would we be friends if we broke up? I'm like, no, motherfucker, you'd be a Dateline episode. Like, what? There's no friends, you'd be dead. And I'd finally get a TV credit, so. Right? Murder love. My new last name is Hernandez, which is exciting for just me. That's cool. I work at an office during the day, and one of my coworkers, when she found I got married, she was like, "Oh, Joleen, your husband's Mexican? Do you ever get confused because they all look alike?" I was like, "No racist, Pam, in accounting, I don't. I always know which one he is." But I feel like you'll hear that about every race of people except for white people. It's so annoying because growing up, where like Andy and I grew up in Minnesota, it's like surrounded by a bunch of white Norwegian-looking dudes. And to me, they all look alike. Like one time, I dated a white guy from Wisconsin. We went to Target, got separated, never saw him again. I don't know. It's like Bjorgen, and everyone's like, what? That was crazy. I don't know, you guys. I was thinking, okay, so people have tattoos. People are cool and have tattoos. Like, everybody has tattoos. I feel like I'm the last of the non-tattooed people. My husband and I, we were thinking, like, okay, let's go get a tattoo. But you guys, I don't know what it is, but I'm terrified of tattoos. Like, I'm more afraid to get a tattoo than I was to get married, you know, because tattoos are forever. Such a commitment. It's too much. I almost got one. I remember, I'll share this story with you guys. I almost got a tattoo. I was 18 years old, and me and all my girlfriends were like, yeah, we're 18, let's go make some good decisions, you know? So we went to the tattoo parlor, and we all decided we were gonna get butterfly tramp stamps. And that was before tramp stamps were a thing. You know, a tramp stamp wasn't called a tramp stamp back then. It was just called a bad decision. And so all my friends, we lined up and they were getting theirs, and I was the last one, and I chickened out. And everyone was just like, oh, you're gonna regret it, Joleen. You're gonna regret it so bad. And now I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Because all my friends back home have kids now, and their children are asking questions. Like the other day, my best friend, she bent over in the kitchen, and her 5-year-old son, Michael, looked at her, and he goes, Mom, why do you have a butterfly above your butthole? Which I think is a valid question. And what do you say? How does she answer that? You know, she'd be like, well, Mikey, Mom used to be a little hoey. And that was like the bat signal for Daddy. And then you were born. It's the miracle of life, really. So I was thinking, like 18, like being 18, you can decide what you want on your body the rest of your life, you guys. That's a crazy age. But then the comedian in me starts thinking, I'm like, they should change that age to 14. Because if you think it's funny what 18-year-old girls pick for tattoos, start letting 14-year-old girls decide. Oh, it's so funny. See him walk around with tramp stamps and say, One Direction. Which could be helpful. It'll be really hard to explain to their kids. You know, in 2 years when they're 16. So it's a Teen Mom America. I get so mad now at my parents about that Teen Mom stuff, you guys. Like, I don't know if anyone's Teen Mom fan, but I really like the show Team Chelsea. Anyways, I watched that show, and these girls are like able to make all this money, and they're famous, and I'm like, my dad fucking lied to me. Because my dad always told me in high school, he was like, Joleen, whatever you don't have sex in high school, get good grades, go to college, you could be anything you want to be. And I I'm like, that motherfucker is a liar. Because all I've ever wanted to be is on MTV. Had he let me experiment with my body parts, I could have been. And he was like, oh no, guys don't marry girls like that. It's like all my friends are married and have big houses, like 10 years before me. He was really holding me back at my sexual peak, 16. That's just how I feel. I don't know, as a teen growing up in the Midwest, I was a really big 90s hip-hop fan. That might surprise some people, but now I think about it and I think how ridiculous I looked. Being a little like 13-year-old in St. Paul, Minnesota. My favorite rapper at that time, you guys, was Too Short. You guys remember the Too Short from Oakland? Oh yeah. I had a Too Short t-shirt. I used to walk down my street rapping his lyrics. Just walking down the street like, bitches, come a dime a dozen, so don't get mad when I fuck your cousin. Like, what? Where were my parents? They were functioning alcoholics. So they loved me, but they weren't always around, you know? But I loved rap and hip-hop in the late 80s and 90s. Like, I loved NWA. My mom actually bought me an NWA cassette tape, you guys. Because I told her NWA stood for No Whining Anytime. She was like, I can get down with that. Good message, Johnny. Plus, they like the Police. I don't know, like, I just feel like music at that time, like, it had a message, had something to say. And little, like, white girl Minnesota Joleen was like, I can relate to that shit. Like, NWA had Fuck the Police, and I was like, hell yeah. Because I was dealing with authority issues, too. My parents were trying to send me to church camp, and that was some bullshit. They don't let you drink Mountain Dew for 2 weeks. Depression. I don't know, I loved Biggie. You guys remember Biggie? So like I keep walking into this beautiful background when I read it. I loved Biggie. Biggie had a song called Who Shot Ya? And I would go, my pediatrician, Dr. Belfons. Shot me with all kinds of shit. Measles, mumps, and rubella. Oh, such a dork. Biggie also had a song, The 10 Crack Commandments. You guys remember that one? Ooh, it's a good one. Teaches all about where to sell crack or not to sell crack. For the kids. He had some lyrics. They said, never sell no crack where you rest at. I don't care if they want an ounce, tell them bounce. And that goddamn credit, forget it. You think a crackhead's paying you back? Shit, forget it. And I was like, yeah, I understand. Because I was a Girl Scout. And every year in March, my dad was trying to hit me up going, give me some of them Thin Mints, I'll get you back. And that asshole never paid me. And I never got my cookie badge. So sad. So sad about that. My favorite rapper of all time, though, was Tupac. Anybody else? Tupac? Oh, I loved Tupac. Tupac had my favorite song, which was Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. Real nice song, yeah. And I was like, it's because I'm bipolar. I get called bitch all the time. Thank you, Pac. Actually, though, I've had an interesting year because I went to a new psychiatrist. So for the last 8 years, you guys, I've been living as a beautiful bipolar woman. Just all the medications, just all the stigmas, just going along in life. And then I went to a new psychiatrist who was like, I had that Cedars-Sinai when Britney Spears was there, and it was like, oh, I wanted to ask him so many questions, you know? And he told me I didn't have bipolar. Yeah, so after all these years of taking the medications, thinking I was bipolar, he was like, oh, no. You've never had a manic episode. No, you just have anxiety and depression. I just stood there in his office like, what? And he's like, you should be happy. Why aren't you happy? And I'm like, all I can think right now is like, how shitty is my personality that I've been pulling out bipolar for 8 years? Nobody questioned it. Like all my friends, family loved him. They're like, finally, there's a name for her. We've been waiting. Thank you. Plus, like bipolar, I got used to being bipolar. There is such a stigma about it, but it's also very powerful because there's nothing scarier to men than a bipolar woman. Oh God, they fear us so much. I always got the same reaction when I tell people I was bipolar. I feel like I'm scaring you, I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, she still could be, we don't know. Maybe a third opinion. Every time I tell someone, they were always like, oh, you're bipolar? They'd like back up. Are you gonna be okay? But what they really meant was, am I gonna be okay? I was like, no, that's the point, that's the fun, that's not it. I felt, and now, not to put down anxiety and depression, but it's like going from bipolar to that, now I just feel like the basic bitch of mental health. Everybody's got that. It's no fun. I want to go back, I want my power back, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, that's what I'm saying, you guys. I had an interesting thing happen to me. I was driving, and I used navigation. Do you guys use navigation system? Okay, so I use Waze, and I've been arriving at my locations, but now, instead of just saying you're there, have you guys noticed this? They have a pop-up reminder that pops up to remind you of something that's relevant to where you travel to often. And mine the other day was, don't forget your kids in the back seat of the car. Which is a great tip, only I don't have kids. I was like, thank you, Waze, for rubbing that shit in. And also assuming that I was gonna be the melt your kids in the van mom. That's kind of rude. You don't know me like that. And I was like, where have I been going? But this is the reminder that pops up, and I was like, oh yeah, Babies R Us parking lot, counting my eggs. Got it. That's where I've been like, how many are left? Not enough. But I think that's great technology. I just wish that kind of technology would have been around maybe when I was starting college. And I was going to the University of Wisconsin River Falls, which everyone called MooU, because that's how attractive the students were. And I was pulling up in my Dodge Stratus, because I have status, and I got there. And I wish my Waze would have popped up and said, hey Joleen, don't forget not to major in poetry. Iambic pentameter don't pay shit. Which was in iambic pentameter right there. Okay, that was a smart joke. That's just what I tell myself. But I do go home to the Midwest a lot. I like going back there and doing shows because I get to see my family, and they pay me for it, which really takes the edge off. When you're getting straight cash to see them, that's cool. But I have family members there who are very interesting. I think we live in LA and we're very lucky, but I forget that there are actual like Trumpers that exist in the world, you know? Like I have an uncle who's a big Trumper, loves a Trump, ooh, yeah, doesn't even have a Twitter though, you know what I mean? It's like, do you really know what's going on? No, you don't. No, you don't. He's one of those guys who his main issue, you know, guys, out of all the issues you can have, which are a lot of issues these days, all the issues, he has that one non-issue, you know, the burning the flag thing, I think no one's fucking doing, but everyone thinks that we're doing all the time. That's like his thing, he's standing behind, nothing else, you know? He's not worried about legislating bodies, he's not worried about taxes, he's not worried about war, he's worried about you burning a fucking flag. This is his non-issue. And he thinks, he's never been to California, but he thinks that all we're doing right now tonight, oh, you got a comedy show tonight? Probably gonna burn a flag. Yeah. Got a great set, just burning flags. It's crazy to me because these people, that is their main issue, are the same people, you know, the people that want to personify the flag, they love that flag so much, that is like their person, are the same people that then take that beautiful flag they love and respect so much and turn it into a pair of shorts every 4th of July that sit on their sweaty July balls. Like, I'm pretty sure if that flag was a person, it'd rather be set on fire. And on my Uncle Larry's balls. Because they owe a lot in back child support. That's what I'm saying. But my dad, he's a guy, he's not a Trumper. He is actually fighting the good fight on Instagram, or on Facebook, I should say, and it's really sad. He's watching really conservative, hateful people call your dad a troll and being so proud. I said, he is doing, social media, things like that. But before, he just retired. He's a 65-year-old ex-truck driver, just retired, and wanted to learn something in his retirement, learn something new. He's only had flip phones, never had a smartphone. So he decided he was going to learn about it. So he got himself a Samsung Galaxy. Cool, like he doesn't know anything about it already. So he doesn't, I'm like his Google, like he doesn't know anything. So he calls me all the time with issues about his phone and the internet. The most recent call, like right after he got it, is he called me and he sounded terrified. So scared, you guys. And he was just like, yeah, Joe, that phone I got might have accidentally, complete accident, typed in the search bar, Kim Kardashian's butt. I was like, really, dude? Accidentally? That's what you're going with? 3 full words you spelled correctly. It's quite the accident. It's like a miracle. And the reason he was afraid is he was like, so, can people see when I look up? Like your mom? Anybody? No? And in that moment I felt so much power. I was just like, yes, Dad, everyone can see everything you look up. I just got to Google alert, throw it away, you dirty bastard. Which I feel like I did a good thing. I feel like I successfully cock-blocked my dad from ever enjoying porn on his phone. Nobody wants porn, Dad. It's gross. It's bad enough I have Facebook, Dad, you know? My dad, I didn't know, does anyone here have this, but he bought a song ringtone for his phone. I didn't know that was still a thing. After like 2003, like he bought a literal song. And like being a 65-year-old man, like what do you think he bought? Like what band or what song?
Hendrix.
And you'd think like Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles. No, my dad bought Def Leppard's Pour Some Fucking Sugar on Me. Which is funny for everyone else, but not your daughter when you're eating with him at Chili's. Having a nice little outing, and all of a sudden all you can hear is, I'm hot, sticky, sweet, from my head to my feet. Hold on, Joe. Hey, hi, yeah. This is gross. This is disgusting. No, Dad, your sugar's over. You're retired. You're on a fixed income. No sugar daddy for you. You're dead now. So. But on Facebook, he is on Facebook, like I said, and it is interesting to watch him. He does not know what he's doing. Does not. The other day, someone he knew growing up passed away, and he decided to update his status and pay tribute to this person. And so my dad wrote in his status, in all caps, Sue Johnson is dead! Exclamation point, exclamation point. And I had to call him, and I was like, you have to take that status down, because that makes it sound like you're happy Sue Johnson is dead. And it turns out he was. She's a total bitch. I do not give him enough credit. He's so smart. I have to see him interact with his friends on Facebook, guys, who also don't know what they're doing. My dad, his best friend is John Peterson, because when you're a Minnesota dad, your best friend's always John Peterson. Even John Peterson's best friend is John Peterson. John Peterson wrote on my dad's wall for everyone to see, hey Paul, I miss your sausage. To which my dad then replied, don't worry John, I'll be giving it to you soon. I was like, no Dad, that goes down in the DM, Mom's on Facebook. That is hella disrespectful. Oh. But I do have some fun with him, because I like to keep him scared. I want to keep him scared. He has a Gmail that he started, but he knows how to open it, but he doesn't know how to reply, because I'm not teaching him that shit. So what I do is I just open up random email accounts from time to time, you guys, and send him emails. And my most recent one I sent him, there was nothing in the subject line, but when he opens it up, it just says, I know what you did, Paul. XO Kim K. He won't do that again. But I do like going home because we always watch on repeat my favorite holiday movie of all time, which is It's a Wonderful Life. Anybody else? No? Yeah. I love that movie. Good to see it. It's an old movie. It's got Jimmy Stewart. It's great. But as I watch that movie now as an adult, I'm noticing things about it I've never noticed before. things are a little off, you know? Like, if you've never seen it before, it stars Jimmy Stewart, like I said, and it's about his character, which is George Bailey, and George Bailey wishes he had never been born. And then this angel named Clarence comes down and shows him what the lives of everyone he loved would have been like had he never been around. And all this horrible stuff happens. You know, Clarence the angel is like, George, Mr. Gower, the pharmacist you used to work for, he went to jail for 20 years for poisoning a child because you weren't there to stop him. Funny, right? Yeah. And then he said, your brother Harry fell through the ice and drowned because you weren't there to save him. And George is like, oh, that's really bad stuff, but what happened to my wife, Mary? What happened to Mary? And Clarence is like, oh no, George, can't tell you, it's too bad. No, it's real bad, can't tell you. Mm-mm. And he refuses, and George has to beg him. He's like, you're not gonna like it, it's really bad. I don't want to tell you, I don't want to tell you. Mm-mm. It's really bad, horrible, it's the worst thing that happened. Finally, he's like, please, Clarence, what happened to my wife? And Clarence is like, all right, fine, all right. You're not gonna like this though. She became an old maid, she never married, she's leaving the library right now. And as I watched that as a fully formed female adult, I'm like, really? That's the worst fucking thing that could have happened to Mary? She's single, has a full-time job, and likes to read? You couldn't have at least given her a Minnesota abortion or something? I'll leave you guys with this last little thing. I get excited. I'm going back in the new year to do shows in Minnesota, and I like going home because I don't know if you guys know this about comedians, but a lot of us, a large percent of us, weren't killing it socially growing up. We, struggled. I was one of those people that struggled. And now I feel this sense of power that I'm older, and now I have a microphone, and people are forced to listen to me. It's like holding people hostage. And I always look in the audience thinking that maybe the cool girls that didn't accept me in junior high are going to be at my show. I always look and they don't fucking care. They're never there. But I always think that I'm going to see this one girl in particular who I wanted to be friends with so bad, you guys. Her name was Beth Thompson. Oh, she was from St. Paul, Minnesota. She was like tan all year round, which is like a fucking unicorn in the Midwest. Like your parents let you go to the tanning booth, we're 12, that's amazing. So jealous of her, and I wanted to be her friend so bad. I did like everything I could. Every Friday night, you'd go roller skating, that was the thing to do. And I remember Beth and her friends would be in the cool area by the lockers, and I was just like, what am I gonna do? So I thought, maybe if I changed my style, I kind of looked at what they were wearing, and maybe if I cool it up. So I bought myself this is the 90s, you guys, I bought myself a really cool pair of teal jeans, just a straight teal, just really rocking it. And then I put on a t-shirt that my parents got me when they went on vacation to Florida without me, because that's what functioning alcoholic parents do. Sometimes they Kevin McAllister you. And I had this Florida shirt, and it had fish on it, all different colors, some teal and that color in the pants, you know what I mean? And it said Florida, and I was like, done, I'm done. Florida? Who doesn't want to go to Florida? We live in Minnesota. Hello. So I remember skating up to some 90s song, probably like Ace of Base, so son, and okay, or something, And I was like, hey guys, like my outfit? And they were like, Joleen, what are you wearing? And I was like, and I am happy now living without you. And I skated away. And so I thought, I tried so many things. I even tried perfume, because at the time all the girls were going to Bath and Body Works and getting perfume, and my mom was like, you're fine, and your natural smell is beautiful. No, it's not, it's gross. And so I was like, you know what, fine, if you're not going to let me express myself perfumely, I'm going to wear my mom's perfume. So what I did, you guys, is all the girls in my grade were wearing body spray, but my mom only had perfume, and she had Elizabeth Arden Red Door perfume, which if you've never smelled that, it smells like a 40-year-old divorcee going through a horrible custody battle. And I just took a bath in it. I was like, oh, this sounds fun, And then I was there the next week. I was like, okay, I got this. So I skated up to the girls, like, hey, probably like SWV, like, I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. And I was like, hey. And then one of the popular girls, Katie, fell to the ground and started having a coughing attack. They had to call the lived. But I remember just sitting there, and then Katie woke up and she was like, Joleen smells! girls, and I was like, I can't so weak in the knees, and just like skated back away. But finally, it happened, you guys. Beth Thompson talked to me. I'll never forget this moment of my life, and I'll leave you guys with this. I was at skating, and it was the last day of 8th grade. And Beth and her cool friends skated up to me, you guys. And Beth skated in front, just tan as ever. I was like, hey, Joleen, want to play a game? And I was like, yeah, Beth Thompson, I'll wait my whole fucking life to play a game with you. And she was like, all right, hold out your hand. And so I held up my hand. And she said, where would you like your house? And I was like, well, if this is the property, probably in the middle. That makes the most sense. And then she said, where would you like your garage? And I was like, well, probably next to the house, preferably attached. It's a sign of affluence. I want to do good later in life. And then she was like, where would you like your garden? I was like, probably in the back, maybe to the right. My parents have a garden. My dad grows like cucumbers and tomatoes and pumpkins. They get really big. He like wins awards and stuff. You guys can come over and see him, or we could just kill my dad, whatever you guys want to do. And then she said, where would you like your pool? And before I could answer, she spit in the middle of my heel. And I rubbed it all over my face. It was the best day of my life. Thank you guys so